Hello everyone, welcome to another video. We start this one off with someone who didn't have enough time to stop at the amber light or the red light.
Wrong, and why did it go wrong? I wouldn't say it particularly went wrong. It was more towards, I think when you're earning good money and you think you're untouchable.
There's a lane for you to get into, you muppet.
You can come into the booze and you can. Where I feel people judge me.
So Lee, what sparked you?
Is it that hard? Look at that. I've got into this lane to turn right. Is it that fucking hard?
Obviously, I've gone for it.
Moving on to the next clip. Now when this happened, I actually blamed the van. When I got it back and looked at it on the computer, I wasn't so sure it was the van's fault after all. What do you think?
People to do that. Unfortunately, it did
Who was there first?
Great. What you've just said there is so important. I trust it.
What's
'Cause
a
when you're
fucking
footballer,
wanker?
you leave school, you
What's a
become
fucking
footballer.
wanker?
You've no real great
Idiot.
academics, and you trust people. That's because you're kids.
exactly what you do. All I knew was I wanted to be.
So in this clip it comes to lane hogging again. As you can see, I've just overtaken that lorry, and you can see the lorry that I'm about to overtake further up the road, so there's no point in me moving over to the left. But what this clip does show is the lack of discipline on their lane choices. As I say, no one's actually moving over to the left at all. Other than the lorries that are staying in the inside lane and myself that goes into the inside lane, no one else uses the motorway the way we're supposed to. But as I say, the person we're looking at is the car in front of me. Just doesn't move over for the whole stretch of this motorway. So as I get past that lorry, I'm going to move over because my next target is too far away to stay in this lane, in the lane 2. So we speed it up here a little bit. And as you can see, the Volvo just stays where it is. But as I keep saying, so does everyone else. With the exception of that one car that just moved in front of that lorry there. So I'm close enough now to overtake this lorry. I pull out and I'm going to overtake the lane hogger. And I'm going to do what I normally do in this situation and send them a message. Not literally. I'd like to, literally. But I won't. So if we go to the rear camera, I go back into his lane, lane 2, and then I will go straight across into the inside lane to show him where he should be. But obviously you don't get the message. So what we do, we speed it up again, and I know it's boring, but I do think that we need to see this sort of thing to just show you what we shouldn't be doing on the motorways and what real lane hogging is. And remember, this is actually speeded up, so it just shows you how long he is actually in that lane for. Now what it does as well, lorries sometimes like to overtake lorries. Now that means if a lorry wants to overtake a lorry in the inside lane, they've got to go out to lane 3 to overtake it because of him. We don't get to that scenario, but that's the sort of thing that happens, and then that blocks up the motorway even more. All because someone just has got a lack of discipline or a lack of knowledge of how to use motorways. So it's catching me up here now because I'm taking the slip road. And I've got a lorry in front of me that's driving pretty slow, and I'm not in no rush to go round it to get in front of it to do it. There's no point because you'll see the countdown signs in a minute. But throughout this whole journey and beyond, because obviously he's not going to move for nothing, he stays in one lane. As we speed it up here again, as I come off, there he is, and he will stay there all day long. Now we come to another one of these roads where it's a little bit of give and take. There's parking on both sides of the road and you just sort of give and take a little bit. I've got priority on most of it though, which they pull over, and this van up in front here is kindly waiting for me. But why does that car need to be pulling out to see what's in front? Just wait.
Now why do you need more space than anyone else?
And tell me what that's doing there. Was that parked or what? It actually starts to move as I went past it there. But what's he doing there? Now we're coming up to a mini roundabout here. This is one of them clips that's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. The bike shouldn't have gone because it's not got priority. It's priority to the right, but the car is going over the top of the roundabout. So who would you blame for this if they crashed? I mean, they were pretty close anyway, but I blamed the bike, but I'm not too sure now after seeing it on the computer.
Lucky bikes, they've got no fucking idea what any of the rules by the looks of that.
Now I'm going to have to do this clip in slow motion because it is kind of hard to see. But we've got a red light up there. You can see that. But as we come round the bend here, I can see that there's 2 horses crossing the road. No, I'm serious, it's not a joke. There is 2 horses crossing the road. But there are 2 other animals in this clip. They're wearing a red top and a yellow top. They're commonly known as cyclists that don't wait at red lights, not even for horses. So even horses have to wait for cyclists to go through red lights nowadays. And look at the jogger, doesn't help much neither. Runs across the road, really unsettling that horse there as well. It's like that famous film with Bruce Willis in it, where the young kid had special powers. And the saying is, I see dead people. Well, I got special powers too. I see stupid people. Stupid people overload in this clip.
A very good morning to John Hill.
Hi John, good morning today. I don't think we're going to get knocked over.
Now up there in the distance there's a mini roundabout. And as we know, you're supposed to give priority to the right.
You know, and Royals has done enough to keep them up. You know, that'd be a big win if they could pick up the Tottenham today. In terms of their next management,
Always an Audi.
had a bit of movement this week, and the name that's
Priority to the right.
in terms of the bets we've been
Now this is another one of them clips. That car has come out of that turning. There's no right turn there, so it's got no option other than to do a 180 at that mini roundabout. And we know it says in the highway code that you are supposed to avoid doing a 180 at a mini roundabout. So if they did crash there, who would be at fault? Because the car is coming from the right, the Audi would have been at fault for that, but because it's doing a 180 where it says avoid at mini roundabouts, it's a difficult one. I wouldn't like to call it.
No right turn there, you know that. Clear enough.
Now in this clip it's just your usual selfish driver that can see me a mile away but decides to turn right and make me slow up. I shouldn't have to slow up for him to do that. In this clip we're looking at a car in front of me that obviously needs a little bit of practice on its roundabout technique. So obviously it should have been way over to the left hand side like the black car did. I don't know why it didn't follow the line of the black car. Now people will say this clip is nothing, but when you pull out it shouldn't affect anyone else. They shouldn't have to slow up.
Pull out, eh? Just pull out. Don't worry about it. Stick your nose out, you look, you see me, and you keep on going. But you are an Audi. That's what Audis do.
Now in this clip, you need to look at all that gap behind me, all that space behind me, directly behind me. But the Mustang, it's got to be in front. Now that there is bloody close when it come across. Why should I have to slow down for someone like him?
Fucking hell. What the fuck was that? Nothing there. Nothing behind me.
Mainly highs, but there were a few lows. Champions League win.
Idiot. Absolute fucking idiot.
Now people will say that was just a merging turn, but the merging turn, the safe merging turn, was obviously behind me, not in front of me, by missing me by about a foot. Now you've got to be a bit of an idiot to buy a Mustang, an electric Mustang and a 4x4 looking Mustang. The whole idea of having a Mustang is listening to that engine and the iconic shape, isn't it? And I think I would have forked out a little bit more money to get indicators.
Oh yeah, and no indication. Fucking quality. Quality fucking wanky driving.
And my next question is wanky a word? Now in this next clip, I often think there's a lot of people on our roads that have never passed a driving test in any country, never mind this one, because you would just know not to be hogging that middle lane. There's a build up of cars behind you. We're looking at this little car here, it's like a little van thing. It's doing probably about 15 miles under the speed limit, but look at all this traffic behind it that it's causing, because there is only one lane officially to go round it, which is lane 3, the outside lane. How would you not see that in your mirror? How would you not realise that you're doing something wrong? A lack of concentration is one thing, but just lack of knowledge is another. And I sort of like think, have you ever been in a car with an instructor? Have you passed your driving test? So what do you think of this? Does this happen to you quite often? What's the main reason for someone to do that and not notice that they're doing that? Is it someone that's a little bit older? Is it someone that's on their phone? Not in that sort of car, I wouldn't have thought the phone. But there you go. And having awareness and consideration for other drivers comes in all shapes and sizes.
So I'm speculating, man, if you give me
Now in this clip, we're coming up to this set of traffic lights and you can see that there's a left turn only lane there. Behind the car behind me, there is another car. It's a German car, and no, it's not an Audi, but purposely comes out of that lane to go into that lane. There it goes, just to get in front. It knows, it can see it, the same as everyone else.
You can't see that. Left lane only, left turn only lane. No.
That's why I love him.
I know you're driving a German car.
That's why I love him. He called me. In my career, even though
Now this clip here could be in one of them videos of how many things can you spot wrong.
Let's fast forward to the 80s, the fight, Marvin Hagler versus Thomas Ramos. How did that fight come about?
well, we had previously tried to put together a Hearns
So much wrong there, mate. So much wrong.
for a major fight. I was able to
And again,
succeed in that
reversing out into the main road.
when I put it up. We had previously tried to put together a Hearns
So much wrong there, mate. So much wrong.
for a major fight. I was able to
And again,
succeed in that
reversing out into the main road.
when I put him with Roberto Nickson. But
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.